On Monday, we had this really fun conversation about winning and our relationship to winning and what our history of winning is. What is the backstory that we have in relationship to the word winning and the feeling of winning and the experience of winning? Because I know some people have a lot of baggage just around the word winning. And when we're in business, we're playing a game, and the game is essentially to whether it's get more clients, generate more revenue, create more awareness, have more views. Those are games we're playing, and those are metrics that we're looking at to know whether we're winning or losing the game. And in a lot of cases, uh, I think people are unsure of what game they're trying to win right now. And if we have a history where perhaps winning is a negative thing, and in our collective culture in North America right now, there it seems like there's a pattern of wanting everybody to win, which is fine. I think everybody winning in business is the goal, but also in there's been this like negative light about winning. And so if we really actually want to be successful with what we're doing, we have to come to terms with what our definition of winning is and what our feelings about winning are. Because if we don't feel good winning, I can guarantee we're going to sabotage ourselves from ever actually experiencing the success that we're setting out to achieve in our life and in our business and with our lifestyle that we're trying to have. And so after that conversation about winning, and if anybody wants to go back to that, there were some exercises that you can do to explore your history of winning and look at like what it was like in your childhood, how you approached the competitive culture that we've all been growing up in, or the majority of us have grown up in. But then I had another conversation, a coaching session, and we're digging into this concept of winning even more. And in this case, my client was talking about how she always felt so alone, and therefore she never actually celebrated any of the successes. She hadn't taken inventory of all of the wins that she's had over the last 30 years, and she's had some phenomenal wins, but there wasn't anybody at her side to celebrate those wins with. And if we're not celebrating them, then do they really happen? Do we ever get the satisfaction of feeling like, okay, we did it. Let's figure out what the next mountain is now? Or is it just this never ending climb up the mountain that is just hard and endless? And so that's where the celebration comes in. And so I assigned her the task of finding a friend or somebody she trusts and love, and to have a celebration ceremony. And the ceremony was simple. It was to light a candle or create an altar and to have somebody there to celebrate with her and to witness her writing down all of the wins that she can remember over the last 30 years of her career, all of the successes that she's had, the things that she's achieved, and to write each of them down and to speak them out loud with the person there as a witness, and to put those into a jar so that she could fill up her cup and feel like she's actually won the game that she's played. And now it's time to set her sights on the new game that she wants to play, which is going to have bigger stakes and hopefully better rewards. So if this resonates with any of you, I'm going to just share that as an assignment for all of you if you've had a hard time celebrating. And I've had launches in the past where, working on the internet's a funny thing. I personally, I remember I had one launch in particular that we worked for months on, and we made a lot of money. And at the end of the launch, I closed my laptop and I had such a feeling of emptiness. It was such a strange feeling to feel like we won the game. And I don't know, I don't remember why. Um, it might have just been a chapter where my wife and I were on rocky terms. I don't remember why there was this emptiness there, but it just I felt really drained and alone in the victory. And that's not a space that we want, because similar to like if you're training a dog, you reward them for positive behavior. And I think our subconscious mind is very similar, that if we can celebrate and find gratitude and praise ourselves and congratulate ourselves. And it entrains positive behavior so we can create more of the same types of results and we can create more momentum with what we're trying to do in our life. And so I would love to just share that exercise with all of you. If it resonates, then in the next several days, take an hour, take 2 hours, find a friend and ask if they want to have a celebration ceremony where you both unpack all of your celebrations and celebrate them, and maybe have a glass of wine or something that signifies the celebration that you're having. To the flip side of the celebration, my wife and I did a death ceremony last year, and we did a similar process. We went back into the forest here behind our place and created an altar, and we called to the surface all of the hardships, the struggles, the failures, the setbacks, everything that we could conjure. We pulled it up to the surface and acknowledged it. We acknowledged the lessons that we learned through it. We acknowledged the ways that it at certain points those challenges created rifts in our relationship. And then we burned all of that and essentially put that book to life, not just chapter, but that whole book. And we symbolically opened a new book with a whole new storyline and timeline to it. And that was a very powerful ceremony that we did. On the flip side of celebrating is just to also remember all the struggles that we've all been through in our lives and to get us to here, and that, hey, we're here. So that's a beautiful thing. I think it's important to acknowledge both in order to move through whatever's coming next.